All right, what's up, everybody? It's the After Show, but later. It's your boys D and El Cucuy and Kennedy right here. Can't really see her because she's under El Cucuy and the shit. But here we are, episode I believe 110. I'm not really sure, to be honest, but here we are, another week, another great week of shows. Covino showed up randomly in Jersey to surprise his mom. Rich can't stop talking about Patrick Mahomes and his wife. And Spot has become the hat guy. El Cucuy, what's going on, man?
Man, not a lot. All that is very, very interesting, man. But one thing that he got me good on was that they were talking about snacks that he had, and Spot was kind of critiquing him on, what maybe he could have had some wings. Rich was talking about he spent $100 on pie. You know what I mean? But the one thing that he got me is he was talking about chips, and he said that getting barbecue or salt and vinegar is risky when holding a party. What do you think about that?
Doug, I completely missed like half of the shit you just said.
What do you mean? You didn't hear them talking about the Rich's party and when he jumped in the pool?
Oh, yeah, I did. I must have been in and out of that conversation because I heard a good portion of that. I thought I heard it all. But now you're talking about the types of chips to bring in shit. I don't really remember that part.
Well, I think, they were talking about snacks that he had, and Rich was talking about he bought pizza. Did you catch that?
Yeah, I caught that.
And then Spot said, maybe having some wings or whatnot. But somewhere in that conversation, chips came up, and Rich said it was risky to get barbecue or salt and vinegar. What do you think about that? Are you just, when you're having a party, are you just a plain Lay's or Ruffles kind of guy? Or
I think if I'm going to have a party, I'll probably get a variety. I'll probably go with a standard Dorito. I think some Lay's are a safe bet. And then if depending on how many people are coming, maybe I'll throw a couple of random shit in there, like some barbecue or some sun chips or something like that. Salt and vinegar, I don't really dig. My girl digs them though, so she might pick up a bag. But I think I'd probably, if we're gonna have a party, I'd probably be safe with my shit. Honestly, I wouldn't be a little too exotic. If there's something that I really dig, because I like barbecue. I'm not like a huge fan, but say there was something I really dug, right, and say it was barbecue. I'd probably bring a bag, to the party, like if it was like I was throwing the party, just so I could get into it,
I mean, if we're getting all fucked up, we're cheaping and we're drinking, I don't give a shit what kind of chips you got. I'm gonna eat them.
Exactly. Yeah. After enough drinks, right? You can barely see whoever you're talking to. The whole time you're nodding your head as you're drinking and eating and shit, right? So, I mean,
sour cream and onion look like barbecue.
Yeah. And they probably taste like it at that point as well,
It was just, I think the comment he made is it's risky. And I was just like, to me, that was just a square white boy foot comment that getting barbecue chips is risky, bro. Really?
Yeah, I don't think barbecue is risky.
At a barbecue?
You're right. I don't think barbecue is risky, but I do think it's a little. Well, you know what though? I don't know. I feel like Doritos, barbecue. I feel like all that's kind of standard. If you're getting the tapatio nachos or something, okay, that's something a little weird. I think something like that's risky.
But you know what though? On the West Coast though, I was just thinking about it, and what I was gonna say was go with tortilla chips. You can't really, some guac. You can't ever lose out here. Arizona, Cali, West Coast. You can never go wrong with that. But yeah, now maybe not though. I think the tapatio would smash out here. I think that out of every 10 party goers, 6 or 7 are smashing on the hot ones.
I feel you. I really think so. What else were some of the other things that you were saying? Because I know there was a couple more that you mentioned that I didn't necessarily remember. So come on, hit me with a couple of those.
I think just Spot said that he could have maybe had some wings, but they weren't complaining. I think Rich hosted a pretty good overall shindig.
Yeah, I remember Spot. He said he left like stuffed and he really enjoyed it. So,
yes.
You know what? I feel like wings, I don't want to say are risky, but well, he had pizzas, right? Never mind. Then that's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And Spot was talking about making his stromboli next time.
You know what I dig? That I kind of dig like a potluck for like gatherings and shit.
Oh, me too.
I was actually talking to my boss because one of my coworkers, her birthday's coming up next week, and she was asking me. She's like, "Do you guys want to grab like pizzas for her, or like what do you want to do?" And
Yeah.
she was like, she told me she actually suggested it. She's like, I was thinking we could do like nachos, and like usually when we do nachos at work, like everybody brings like toppings and shit, and I think there was somebody brought some chorizo one time, and I was like, what the fuck? But it actually was pretty good. So, it's cool. You get to try like different shit, and then everybody brings like their own little dish and stuff.
Yeah.
I dig potlucks like that. To me, that's
too.
always a better experience than like ordering like a gang of pizzas for the department, because
Right.
then everybody's kind of bullshitting like, oh shit, I didn't even know you can make this, like, and then, hey, bring this next time, this was bomb, or then the people that made the shitty shit, you're like, so
Yeah.
I feel like it's pretty dope. It's like, it's kind of it becomes a conversation piece when you have like a potluck.
Right. For sure.
So yeah, no, I think that's cool though. I did see Rich. I was pissed because I didn't see the full video live. I had just saw like a little clip of it,
Okay.
and I was like, I'll go back and watch it later when he jumped into the pool, because I saw him in his living room like all happy with his hat, and
He was cheesing, wasn't he?
yeah, and then when he went outside, they had their lights out there and everything. So I was like, I'll watch this later, because I wanted to watch it like with sound and shit. I think I had just like was scrolling through it, and I was like, I'll watch that later. And I
Right.
never got a chance to, and I was just like kind of like, oh man, that was one that I wish he would have put on his actual like Instagram rather than his story.
For sure.
But like you mentioned, all right, big girl. Like you mentioned a long time ago, you were like, that's why I dig Snapchat, because you put your shit up there. Who sees it, and it's not up there forever. So I dig that. That's one thing that I think is kind of cool.
For sure. And then it's like, hey, if they missed it, then fucker, next time click on all my shit.
Exactly. So you have the Instagram stories, the Snapchat stories, all that good shit, and I think Green Optimist might have sent me something a couple of days ago. I'm so bad at reading that shit. So what up, Green Optimist?
Shout out Stickman. He's trying to be a guest one of these days.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I'm all for guests, and I was actually telling you a few days ago. Whenever we have like some of your buddies jump on and stuff, I bring, I think, a different vibe, because I start getting into kind of interview mode, but at the same
Right.
time, I'm genuinely interested, because a lot of these people that you bring on, you've talked about in the past, and they're your homies. So I do
Dan
want to
Rather
know.
Fits.
Well, I want to know more about them. So
Yeah.
I feel like my curiosity will kind of translate to the people listening, because they don't know them either. Like
Right,
I
for
got to
sure.
learn a lot about Husky Nipple last time, and his psychedelic trips, and that kind of all that good stuff. So
Oh yeah.
so that was cool with some of those people last time.
He's definitely an interesting dude and great guy.
In the cutting block with the knives. All right, thank you.
Well, yeah, man. What you got? What you got for the show?
Oh, you know what? I have something where damn it. Okay. One thing that there was something that Covino and Rich mentioned this week, right? They said, hey, if you guys have anything that stood out to you that you thought was funny, all that good stuff, they were like, hey, mention it on our social media. Let us know, because when Spot's making clips for Instagram and Twitter and shit, it's cool to
Right.
see what translated to you guys, And
Right, absolutely.
they said we don't always see it because we're living it, right? So things may not stick out to us that somebody else thought was funny. And so, trying to be a good Covino and Rich listener, I put the question on the Carl page after one of the shows, and I put, what was your favorite thing about today's show?
See, I already
And-
know, bro. You're gonna tell me something right now, and it's gonna confirm why I'm not on that damn page.
So, Mr. Austin
Oh.
Arnold,
Come on, Austin Arnold.
Mr. Austin Arnold,
Any relation to Austin Powers?
he hit me with a question. Wouldn't that be funny if
Or is he like Fat Bastard?
wouldn't that be funny if like you were related by first name instead of last name?
Right?
Like,
Yeah, baby.
Austin Arnold is really related to Austin Powers, but
You look like that cartoon character Arnold.
Hey, I think all three of them could be related in this alternate universe that I'm thinking of. But
Hey.
Austin Arnold hit me with a, is this a genuine question, or are you dummy fishing for content for the after show? And I like
and learn me something about what is a dummy fish? What is that?
asking a stupid question to get responses.
Really?
But yeah, so basically, like they say, Covino and Rich are dummy fishing a lot of times when they're like, "Hey, what's your favorite yogurt?" And then you look everybody and their mama is commenting on it and calling into the show. It always seems like that really bottom, low hanging fruit where people respond to the most. That's just reality. So that's what he was kind of saying. So he's asking if I'm dummy fishing so I can get people to start talking and then I can have comments and content for the show.
Did you call him a dummy?
No, I just told him. I just said I have my platform here where I can actually say what I'm thinking. But, right. Oh, fuck. You know what? I think this might not even been too loud. I forgot. Me and Kennedy did a little podcast earlier, so I got to lower this shit. So, there we go. So all I responded to was, well, the boys mentioned earlier, for people to, let us know what they thought was interesting or something. I'm not somebody who's going to sit and argue with you on social media.
I will.
Because to me, I'd rather get my opinions out right here and I responded to his comment and then cool. And then, but see,
I'll tell someone to fuck off real fast.
But see, the thing is, I'm like, does this motherfucker is he just hating on the show or something? Because I have plenty of fucking content for every show. Plenty of notes, plenty of their shit that they mentioned throughout the show, and I'm listening to it at work, right? So I'm writing down shit. I have shit in my OneDrive. I have notes on a physical piece of paper. I have fucking sticky notes. I mean, I go pretty hard on the amount of notes. I have notes in my phone. So for somebody to say, am I dummy fishing for content? I'm like, listen, motherfucker. Sorry. But I'm like, listen, brother. Kennedy goes, that's okay. But I'm like, listen, dude, I don't need people's feedback for content. I'm like, I may throw something out there every once in a while, like, hey, and I'll even say, I'm thinking about, stuff for the show, what did you think, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not honestly, if I ask that, it's just for interaction. I don't give a fuck about people's opinion. We have plenty of opinions. You and I are very opinionated. So if I do throw something out there like, hey, gonna record this weekend. What did you guys find interesting or something? That's just to get people, oh, wait, record. What does this guy do? Oh, they click on our shit. Oh, they see it's the after show. Oh, I really don't give a shit. So if I even write on your wall, Austin Arnold, and I'm like, hey, man, what did you enjoy this week? I don't give a shit. I'm just being nice, or I'm trying to have people look at that and come and check out our shit. I really don't care, to be honest. Me and El Cucuy have been doing this shit for over a year, you and I. And in total, I've been doing this shit more than 2 years. I think 3 years. I think November 2018 was the first time Johnny and I did a show. So I've been doing this for a little while. You think I need...
Stuff your shit, chop off. Sorry, bro. I'm getting harassed by this fucking dog.
Oh, okay. You think I need Austin Arnold's input for... but, hey, I guess I'm talking about it, so it was content, I guess. But to ask, am I dummy fishing? Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I've never heard him call in.
No, but you know what? Oh, and then get this. So let me tell you this. So this dude...
He ain't no Black Ice or Jason in Tampa.
No, but this dude thinks he is. You know why? Let me tell you. Let me learn you something about Austin Arnold. So
no, you don't have to, bro. I could give a shit less about that dude.
Well, no, I'm going to tell you because it's relevant to the story.
All right.
So Rich comments on the, it starts getting like a little thread, right? People start commenting and shit. Well, Austin's replying to somebody's comment, and he says something about, oh, I stay plenty busy with 6 kids or something, right? I know his story just from the Carl page and shit, I know he's adopted kids and all kinds of shit. Well, anyway, Rich, he puts 6 kids, with a question mark, damn, that's crazy,
Yeah.
And then Austin replies, and he's like, bro, we've been over this. I foster this many kids, and I had this many kids biologically. And Doug, listen.
Did he expect Rich to take notes?
That's what I'm saying. Doug, you think Rich, Covino might know it, and I'm not trying to swing from Covino's balls, but he reads that shit. Rich could give 2 shits about it. Rich, honestly, he'll go through the content, I'm sure, but I don't think he takes it in enough to know about
course not.
what you do for a living and shit. You know what I'm saying?
And no, nor should we expect him to.
No, not at all. And it's just funny because I'm like, I don't know. I just think like there are people like they're the Drew Max and shit that they hang with and shit. They've hung with them on a number of occasions, you know, like personally, like not on Covino and Rich time, but
Right.
they've, you know, gone out to dinners and shit with them. Just like Jaime Tavares was there when Rich jumped in the pool, right? That was him just being more of a personal friend than a show friend, right?
Right.
And which I'm sure they met through the show, but he's become so Black Ice. We saw his tractor just rolled on him and shit. But for somebody to think,
Martin, Colorado.
you know, for somebody to think that they, for somebody to think that Covino and Rich and Spot are going to remember what you do for a living or how many kids you have or if your wife is blonde or brunette, like
You're just lucky they remember your fucking name, bro. Where you're from.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a conversation you and I had last week or a couple weeks ago where you were talking about if you think that you can jinx a team or something,
Yeah.
you're extremely like self-centered, right?
Yeah. Well, you're arrogant, bro. You're egotistical if you think all that shit revolves around you.
And so, Doug, so that's how I feel about this. If you think that Covino, Rich, and Spot, with as much shit as they got going on, you think they're like, oh, let me go through Austin Arnold's shit and not even, I'm not even saying him in
oh yeah. He's the one with all the kids. He's the one with all the kids.
Yeah.
Like, what are they supposed to do, bro?
Like, I don't get it. And so for him to be like, bro,
he adopted them, bro. Bro, he adopted those kids, bro.
Doug, like okay, look at this. So if I even said something to Covino or, you know, because I'm a lot closer with Covino than Rich, you know. So if I mention something to Covino and I've told him before, I'm not expecting this motherfucker to remember. You know what I'm saying? And so like, I'm like, these motherfuckers have how many people that listen to the show? You know, they have how many people like, and honestly, they are really good about keeping track of a lot of shit. But but if they do forget something like you adopted kids,
but to hit him with the response, we've been over this. Like,
bro, we've been through this.
Like what? Like what?
Yeah. You know what?
Who the fuck are you again? What's your name again?
And see, I'm telling you, they do remember a lot of shit. I'll give them that because I remember when I met them in Scottsdale in 2015. I remember there was a dude that was sitting at like a table, like away from me or whatever, and he introduces himself because he's a normal person, right?
Okay.
And Covino is like, yeah, dude. He goes, I remember you. He goes, I met you in Vegas when we were there for Super Bowl, whatever it was, right? And the guy was like, oh, yeah. And I was like, hey, that was really cool. One, for Covino to remember that. Two, for him to bring it up, make the dude feel included and special and all that shit, right? So, you know, for that's really cool, and they do remember a lot of shit. But if they forget something, you're really going to break their balls? It's not like they're you know, Billy Bob Johnson, and they have 4 friends. They have their normal friends, their normal family, plus all of the listeners.
Well, so they got big family too. They got Covino got a lot of sisters and brothers and nieces and nephews. There's a lot of shit going on, bro. Fucking his parents are retired, so they're home fucking all day, probably yapping at him all day. You know what I mean?
You know,
when my dad retired, bro, the calls increased from about 1 or 2 a day to about 5 or 6. Hey, kid, what are you doing? You know, which is cool. He's retired. He's kicking it.
Yeah, exactly. You got Big Steve now on the family
chat. Hey, yo.
You know, hey, what's the deal with this shit over here? You know? Why are you watching The Bachelor like some kind of woman?
This is some bullshit.
So that's where I'm like, to think that they, you know, and I'm like, they do a hell of a good job. But and see, the thing that bothers me most is that this dude was like, bro, we've been over this. Okay, go over it again.
And Rich got the Birdman.
Bubba, hold on, let me see. I'm gonna turn. Bubba, how did Austin Arnold look? Bro, we've been over this. That's how he looked, Kennedy. But yeah, man. So that's where I'm like, to do that, I just think you look kind of a little,
Petty.
yeah.
You're petty.
You know, and it's like, okay, Doug, like, sorry. I mean, I forgot, you know, there's Carls and shit that I
forgot, bro.
to.
Fucking Austin fucking Arnold's in the house. My bad. Fuck.
Doug, and I'm saying there's a lot of Carls that I'll talk to where I'll forget certain shit, you know, and I'm like, and Doug, and I talk to like maybe 20 Carls, I would say, you know, but I mean, that's still a handful of people to kind of keep track of. These people, you know, and everybody's hitting them up constantly because everybody wants to be their friend, right?
Does it count? Can I say that I talk to them too if I talk to you and you talk to them?
Yeah, we talk to about 20 Carls,
all right,
you know, like on a regular basis, you know.
Shout out the Carls, especially the ones that ain't causing trouble.
You know, and by talking to them, I'm saying like they personally have like my cell phone number or whatever, and they'll hit me up on Snapchat and stupid shit like that. And there are Carls that have even hit us up on like Twitter and shit that I've never seen before, but and there's people that I do see every so often in like the comments and shit like on our shit. Right. That I don't know their whole history, but I see their name and I recognize their profile picture. Like I could think of like Pete Huffman, you know, that's one.
Could you recognize their scent?
I can't. But what I'm saying is like just like put your hand on my head, she said.
That's what he's gonna be like.
But Doug, right. But we'll get off. We've given this dude too much time because now people get to go look him up and shit. But I have a question about: did you see or have you been seen recently, more so on the free Twitch Fridays, the Covino and Rich purple logo?
I've seen it. Yes.
Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you wish it would go away? What's your opinion?
It don't bother me. It's all right.
I fucking hate it.
Why?
To me, it looks. I'll show you after, bub. Okay. She's like, what's it look like? But to me, it looks, I don't know if it's like a little too big, but to me, it looks a little cheap. So I'm thinking if maybe a Spot made it a little bit smaller or even dragged it out.
Maybe Rich bought that. Maybe that came free with his fucking slides from Walmart.
Slides and a free logo.
Free logo.
Slides and a free logo. So, or even because it says Covino and then there's the and sign Rich.
Uh-huh.
It looks a little weird the way the like placement is or something in that font. Their traditional logo looks pretty dope the way they have it set up. But in this font, it's like italicized a little bit. It's kind of glowy. I just think if it was longer, said Covino and Rich and on one line, it would look cooler. And if maybe it was a little bit smaller. So, but that's just my opinion. But I just, I don't really remember what the Carls were saying and stuff about it, but I know Spot brought it up and he was talking about, he was like, I really liked it and this and this. I thought he was only going to keep it for free Twitch Friday because I feel like for free Twitch Friday, it kind of goes with the vibe. Like if you go on the Twitch app or the website or whatever, it's kind of black and purple. And, if you go to people's channels, they're gaming.
Yeah, it looks good on Twitch.
They're like gaming with the light behind them. And, but for their traditional Patreon, I just think it just doesn't go with the whole aesthetic of everything else. And Spot said that he likes it because it's different, that their background's very neutral. They always wear very neutral colors. And so I agree with what he's saying there, but there's just something about maybe their traditional logo in that purple color and make it glowy a little bit. But there was something about the font as well that I didn't dig. But it's just a personal opinion. Who gives a shit,
Hey, I got a question for you.
What's up?
So Jordan and her cat videos, and this girl over here, she's on the cat videos too, man. What do you think about them cat videos?
Thank goodness my girl's not into them. Because I don't really know what they're talking about. Because I've heard Covino on multiple occasions say that he'll hear Jordan cracking up and he'll ask her.
They're just watching cats do stupid shit. They're jumping, they're twirling, they're rolling, they're smacking shit. It's cat videos, bro.
Okay, like I can't talk shit because I watch way more ridiculousness than anybody should ever watch. So I do, Doug. I don't know if I just need like something to like just.
What about messiness with Snooki and foodiness or whatever with Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Deliciousness.
Deliciousness. That's right.
Yeah, I haven't seen the Snooki one. I saw the Tiffany Amber Thiessen one with Kel Mitchell and somebody else.
Yes.
Honestly, I like all of them. I'm a big fan of Kel. I'm a big fan of Tiffany Amber Thiessen. I'm a big fan of Kennedy. Kennedy goes, "You're a big fan of me." Yeah, I'm a big fan of Kennedy. But I'm a big fan of all of them. And yes to what you said. But I just don't dig the show. I don't know. I don't know if it's because I'm so used to seeing Rob Dyrdek do it or his stupid little comments. Like, I feel like on the original Ridiculousness, Rob Dyrdek, Sterling or Stilo and Chanel West Coast, their vibe I think is just dope. The three of them together I think is really good. I like Stilo's kind of hood perspective on shit. I like that Rob is just himself. He's a corny white guy. He owns it. He tries to do some dancing sometimes that he knows doesn't look good, but he tries it anyway. And then Chanel knows like she doesn't have a whole lot to add. So she just kind of like will laugh with whatever they say. But once in a while, she has a couple of zingers that are funny as hell. Because
she got to change her name though, bro. Her name need to be like Burlington, Utah, or like Dee Dee's Montana or some shit, bro. Chanel West Coast. Doug, there's nothing Chanel about her ass.
You know what's so funny that you said whatever Dee Dee's or whatever. Doug, her real name is Chelsea Dudley.
Really?
Doesn't she look more like a Chelsea Dudley? You know?
Yes, she does.
I think if I'm not mistaken, Chanel's her middle name. It's Chelsea Chanel Dudley. But
she looks like a young clone of fucking Chelsea Handler.
She looks like have you seen those memes where they say she looks like the kid from Boy Meets World all grown up? Mm-hmm. Or it'll even say like, oh, she's a transgender version of the kid from, whatever, Boy Meets World. But
speaking of, there was some controversy today, bro. I want to get your input on it.
Controversy?
Some major controversy. I got to get your opinion because you're a Laker fan. Did you see what Dwayne Wade's daughter/son did to honor Kobe Bryant?
No, I'm nervous.
I guess his son identifies as a girl now, and she wore a number 8 jersey dress in the 2-year anniversary of Kobe's passing.
That's cool. And I mean, whatever.
And what's his name? What's that guy's name? He's been funking with all the NBAers. He was the number 1 overall draft pick. Kwame Brown came out and blasted him for it.
Kwame Brown used to be a Laker.
Kwame Brown came out and blasted him for it.
He blasted the kid?
No, well, Dwayne Wade for letting his kid do that. So what's your opinion on any of that?
Okay, you know what? I'm glad you brought this up, Doc, because we started a segment last week, and I forgot to write things down. But I think you just hit a good question in our segment we like to call, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, what's wrong with that? Is there anything wrong with it?
What's wrong with that? I honestly, this is how I look at it, Doug. It's a kid, maybe 16, 17, I don't know how old he is. 15.
12, 13.
Oh, is he younger like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Doug, especially if he's younger like that. If he identifies as a chick and now he's a chick, right? So now he's what's his name? Like, I want to say Zion, but I know I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's Zeta. I think now it's Zeta.
Something right.
It formerly known as Zion.
It's something like that, right? So if she's identifying as a child, I mean as a female, and this is how she feels inside, whatever. I just think about it. If it was your daughter, right? Your daughter or my daughter, and
right.
They felt like honoring Kobe on the 2-year. Thank you. I mean, wearing a Lakers jersey dress, I wouldn't be opposed to it. So I don't see anything wrong with, and I actually applaud Dwayne Wade for being like, fuck it, that's my kid. That's what she's going to wear, then that's what she's going to wear. It's not the cool, I don't think it's like, I don't want to say the coolest, but I'm sure it wasn't Dwayne Wade's first choice for what his daughter was going to wear that day, right? But I think if he had a daughter that was genetic, or no, where their gender was identified, no, Not identified. Kennedy, sit back, please. You're in my way. Where their gender was, what do they say? Assigned. If it was Dwayne Wade's daughter whose gender was assigned at birth as a daughter, then I don't think there would be any issue. So being that there is an issue because it's his former son, now daughter, I think it's kind of messed up just because Dwayne Wade's trying to do the best he can as a parent, right? Nobody knows what the hell to do in that situation, right?
No.
And then so he's trying to be the best parent he can be. So to come out and blast him or the kid or whoever, I think is just low. And I dig Kwame Brown. But, I mean, come on, man. I'm like, it's a kid. Fucking, we all, like, whatever. I don't know. We were all kids at one point. So I think as a kid, you make, good decisions, bad decisions. I don't think this was either. I mean, maybe the dress looked cool and it was a good decision. If it was an ugly dress, I think it would be a bad decision, no matter if the kid was born male, female, or fucking octopus. I don't know.
I think Kwame Brown, though, and some of the points he's been making lately, he's been stirring up. I don't know if you haven't seen any of it, but he's been stirring up. I guess Gilbert Arenas was on that talk show, All the Smoke, with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, and they brought him up in some light, and he went on a rampage on the internet for like weeks. Then he started attacking Stephen A. Smith, saying that they put other black men down just to make money and that they're sellouts. So Kwame Brown's been on a mission lately, and I don't disagree with everything that he says. I do agree with some of that to some extent, but I don't agree with him calling out Dwayne Wade's daughter. I agree with what you said. And again, it's just tough, I'm sure, just to be a parent in that situation. And the fact that he's able to just love and support his child, I think is probably the most important thing. And who are we to tell somebody else how they should remember somebody?
Yeah. You know what? I just think of like, there's somebody, a child of somebody that I work with, their child is transitioning or identifying as a different gender or whatever, right? Yeah. And, I think if this person would have walked in with a Lakers dress or whatever, and I think I would have been like, oh, fuck yeah, Lake Show all day or whatever, like, hey, like, let's bullshit about, like, hey, what the fuck's going on, man? They're at 50%. These fools even going to make the finals, whatever. But to make them feel comfortable or whatever, not even to make them feel comfortable, to make them feel, to just bullshit with them like I would anybody else, right? So I don't know, Doug. Like, I don't know. Kwame Brown's been out of the fucking, spotlight for a while. Maybe his ass is just trying to fucking get people to talk like we are,
I think that's exactly what's going on.
But
you know what, though? Yeah. Speaking of that, though, since we're on sports, did you see that Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens did not get into the Hall of Fame?
Hold on real quick. Kennedy, if mommy's calling you, you have to go with her. Don't be yelling from the room, okay? Sorry. Okay, Roger Clemens and what?
And Barry Bonds did not get into the Hall of Fame. Big Papi did, but Roger Clemens and Barry Bonds did not, dude. And speaking of, Pete Rose still ain't in the Hall of Fame. You know what, man? We've talked about this, and I don't like baseball for the most part. I like it a little bit, but good God, bro, why are they hating on these guys for? And do you think they deserve to be in the Hall of Fame?
Okay, so are they holding Barry Bonds out because of the steroid shit, or what's going on with that? Okay.
Yes, and Roger Clemens.
Okay, and so are they still holding Pete Rose out because of the betting shit?
Yes.
Okay, if I'm not mistaken, Pete Rose was betting on himself, wasn't he?
Yes.
So I think all of that is fucking bullshit, dog. Like, okay, they were on steroids, right? Fucking, I'm pretty sure 90% of the motherfuckers playing at that time were on steroids.
They were. I was going to the games because I remember the strike in '94, and they couldn't give those fucking tickets away. After they strike, they couldn't give tickets away. We were buying tickets for like $5.
Mm-hmm. And see, so what that did was, I remember, Doug, when that shit happened, when Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire, and they were 9,000 home runs this season, right? Fucking are they gonna make it 9,001? I was in like 5th grade when this shit happened, and I remember it got me interested in baseball. Doug, I've always hated baseball, right?
It's a home run summer, bro, when it was Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire.
Yeah, right. This was back I mean, what was it like? Fucking late '90s, or something.
Yeah, something
And
like that.
and to think, Doug, like everybody, even fuck, who was it that I heard come out recently? It was some fucking. It's gonna narrow it down. I was gonna say it was some Latino. Yeah, that fucking narrows it down. Um,
So,
I think he played for the Cubs, if I'm not mistaken. Something with an R. I don't know. I saw him on a documentary recently. But
well, hello.
this motherfucker was talking about how back in the day, how everybody was on shit. Everybody. And
Right.
so to think that they're gonna hold these fools out because what? Because they fucking got caught slipping or whatever.
But
Well,
they never even really got caught. That's the
well,
worst part. That's what bothers me is it's like, check it out, bro. You can't hate on someone because of speculation, right?
okay. So
Because
Bonds.
even with OJ, right? Even with OJ had evidence and they couldn't prove him guilty because it was beyond a reasonable doubt. How in the fuck are you going to keep people out of the Hall of Fame because you're playing a guessing game? And you're right, bro. Everybody in that era, you have to almost punish the whole era and the whole generation or none of them at all.
You know what? This is what it's tripping me out. I thought Barry Bonds was straight up like caught. All like I thought he was like
I don't
fucking
think he ever tested positive, bro.
really. Now
I don't
see
think so.
off of
I could.
speculation.
Well, people like to long poke us and correct us all the time. So who knows, bro?
Well, you
If he
might. I mean,
was,
you probably know more than I do on the situation. So, Doug, that was me making an argument for him even being caught up, being like, hey, fuck it. I mean, whatever. But if it's just speculation, they're gonna put this motherfucker. They're not gonna let him in because of rumors.
and he's the
What is
all
this
time
fucking
home
high
run
school?
champ.
Hey, we're not gonna vote for fucking Cindy because I heard that she's a
She's a
whore.
whore,
You tell what era we're from, huh? Right? We go.
right?
Oh, I remember. I think I told you this already, but I remember my sophomore year of high school. This girl asked a friend of mine. Well, not really a friend of mine. He's more of an acquaintance, but she was like, because he was saying something about some girl being a whore, and this chick was like, "How many dudes does a chick have to be with before you consider her a whore?" And this dude said, "Anybody that's not me."
I would say two different dudes in the same day.
The same day.
Yes,
All right,
you
but
get a whore pass for that one.
yeah, that's cool. But I mean, whatever. People are people, right? They make
Yeah.
decisions, right? Good, bad,
Hey,
ugly.
yeah.
Um, but I forgot. Oh yeah, so Doug, so for them to base this shit off of rumors is freaking okay. That's just
Bullshit.
stupid. So oh, and then Pete Rose, I feel like is if those
He's paid
are
his dues, bro. He's paid his
if
dues.
those are rumors, and they're not letting him in, that's bullshit. With Pete Rose, him betting, Doug, on himself, I want to know what's the harm in that. Isn't that only gonna make his ass play harder? Isn't that only gonna make his ass like
I think he was a coach and he was betting on his teams to win.
and oh, so it was when
Right.
he was coaching.
I think so.
Okay, who
But
cares?
still, I don't give a shit.
And he doesn't isn't he
Ah,
gonna want his team to play harder?
right.
Isn't he gonna want to be a better coach? Isn't
I
he gonna
just
want?
they're sabotaging their own game, bro, is what they're doing.
They're making an already boring game boringer, right?
Because and it's their fault. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, I mean, they didn't enforce it. They let them do it because they put the fans back in the stand. So now you're not just penalizing, Barry Bonds, Mark McGuire, and Roger Clemens. You're penalizing me because these are the motherfuckers that I grew up watching hitting home runs over the fence that were way better than fucking the people from the 70s and the fucking 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're saying you almost make it like my era wasn't valid. And that's bullshit because they were smacking the fuck out of that ball. And it's like you said, everybody was doing it. And if you can't just penalize a generation because as owners, that's what put money in your pocket. And then all of a sudden, when there's scrutiny, you're like, no, we didn't know nothing about. Yeah, you did. You guys all knew about it.
But the thing is, when it comes to Pete Rose, I want to know what their logic is.
He bet on baseball.
I know, but what's their logic in that?
He compromised the game because he bet on the game.
But yeah,
That's it.
if he was betting, I could understand if he was fucking. He's like, hey, Doug, even if he wasn't doing it maliciously, but he was like, fuck, I know my team. Doug, I'm a Lakers fan, right? This fucking season, there's teams I watch. I go, I know they're gonna whoop the Lakers' ass today, right? Okay, as a coach, what if he since he was a betting addict or whatever, what if he's like, hey, fuck it, I know the fucking Royals or whoever gonna beat my fucking. Was he a coach?
He,
Was he coaching the Phillies or who was he coaching?
I think he was coaching the Reds, but it's
Reds.
even deeper than that, bro. Like, I don't think the Patriots, which they have done, should even scrub Aaron Hernandez from some of those highlights. I mean, I know what he did. I wouldn't celebrate the guy and I wouldn't intentionally show highlights with him in it, but I wouldn't scrub him. I watched that Tom Brady Man in the Arena, and there was not a whole lot of Aaron Hernandez highlights being shown.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, man. What do you think about that?
I didn't even think of that. And I don't know.
He was in there. I don't think they ever said his name. I did see him in there a couple of times.
What number was Aaron Hernandez?
I think he was 81.
Number 81. So did they refer to him as 81 as they're telling stories?
I just don't. I think they scrubbed it.
Yeah.
I think they didn't play any of the audio that recognized him or called him out.
Tom,
but even that, I mean, what he did was horrible. But again, are we going to erase somebody from history when they did something that wasn't horrible because later on they did something horrible?
Yeah, and you know what? And it's not even like they don't have to make him out to be the greatest dude of all time because obviously he wasn't.
Right.
But to leave him out, I don't want to say it's like the worst thing in the world because I mean I kind of understand, but I mean if he was part of these fucking championships, he was part. Then I feel like that's something that they have to at least fucking address. I mean, they could even say like something good about his playing and shit, and then say that later.
Well, bro, if I get framed tomorrow, don't act like I never did no good.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? That's some bullshit. Like you can't wipe out the good someone's did in their lifetime because of one mistake, because maybe they didn't even do it.
Yeah.
Obviously he did. He obviously did. Before we get some stupid feedback, he obviously did it.
Yeah,
but,
and possibly more than once. But
right,
But what I'm just thinking is like
not the point.
I'm trying to think of. You know what? Okay. Yeah, I think he should have. I don't think they should have watched all of his highlights and shit. No, I don't think they should have done this shit and got rid of him completely. I, of course, don't think, like every reasonable person, think they should have, made him out to be this awesome dude, right? But there is a way to go about it. I couldn't tell you right now. I'd have to put some thought into it of how they could go about it. But they could definitely, and you know what? I didn't even think about that in the Tom Brady documentary, where even for a minute, I mean, until you brought it up, I completely forgot about Aaron Hernandez. I was like, "Oh yeah, shit, you're right."
I seen his number when I was watching that damn.
They blur out his number.
No, they didn't blur it out. They just didn't really mention his name too much.
Yeah, who's Aaron Fernandez? They're just trying.
But even going back to the to the Barry Bonds thing, let's not forget about the Tom Glavines, the John Smoltz, the Greg Maddixes, and all the great pitchers, the Roger Clemens. Like even the Braves lineup, dude. When the Braves in the '90s had those pitchers, they dominated, bro. They were dominated. And Barry Bonds was in the National League. So you play 162 games. How many times did he have to face the Braves? So he did his shit against. It ain't like he did it against inferior people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Did Martin McGuire ever test positive?
I think he admitted maybe to Congress that he had did it or something, but I think Jose Canseco snitched on him.
I remember I was at a minor league baseball game here in town, and the Padres were playing either the Bullfrogs or the Scorpions. We've had a couple of minor league teams here, but I remember there was some kid next to me. There was this dude like warming up, swinging his bat around. And this little kid, I must have been like 9. I think he was like a year or so younger than me. But he was like, "Where's Barry Bonds?" And I was like, "Oh, fuck. That dude," I'm like, he's playing in the minors. I'm like, he's probably like fucking irritated. Like, and then the dude's like, "Where's Barry Bonds at?" But honestly, this dude, I wish I could remember who he was, but he was so cool about it. He was like, "Oh, man, he's back home training." And, he was just cool with them. But I was just like, fuck, man. I was like, "I don't know, motherfucker. You're here to watch me."
Yeah. Well, it's crazy. You're speaking of minor league baseball. Fucking the team here, Fresno Grizzlies, they took on like 4 alter egos this season. So they're the Fresno Grizzlies, the Fresno Tacos, And then there's some other ones. I'm trying to look it up right now. I don't see it, but they're taking on. They have like 4 different
You
uniforms on
said they
4
were the
different
Fresno
mascots.
Tacos?
Yeah, because we get the taco truck throwdown every year, so they call themselves the Fresno Tacos.
That's fucking hilarious. Hey,
And they got little taco hats.
you know what my mascot was from high school?
What's that?
We're the only one in the nation.
Tacos?
No, the only mascot in the nation with this mascot, or the only high school in the nation.
Or what is it?
The Criminals.
Really?
Our high school's in the hood, and our shit was we were the Criminals. We're the Yuma High School Criminals. You could look up our fucking shit. And well, it's funny because the background in that shit is because our high school, before it was the high school that we went to, classes were originally taught in the Yuma Territorial Prison. So we have an old prison that I think it's like a national landmark here. They actually recorded some of like, I think Brooks and Dunn, the country singers, they recorded a movie in that prison. It's an old ass prison that you fucking have like bonfires outside of and shit now, you know? But it's like a museum now or whatever. But yeah, so high school classes were originally taught in that prison. So the mascot became the Criminals. So yeah, so it's fucking funny because
the mascot is the Criminals.
So our mascot, yeah, is some dude. Oh fuck, I wonder if I could share it. Our mascot is some dude, like with black and white stripes, like breaking out of prison. That's his.
Yeah, you gotta share that, bro.
That's our fucking mascot, dog. So,
way to get your fucking team up, your town fucking motivated,
But watch, you know what? Here, let me Google it real quick. Yuma High Criminals.
Hey, someone didn't put a lot of thought into that fucking decision, did they?
Oh, look at that. Let me see if I can share my screen real quick with you. I might have to edit this out of the episode because I don't know how it's gonna look like when I share it and shit. But watch, let me share my screen. Right here. All right, could you see this shit?
Yeah.
So look.
That's the mascot?
Yeah, look at
that looks like the fucking logo from Death Row Records.
Look, no, he's breaking out of prison. Look at. This is the actual logo. Look at, here's our fucking gym.
Oh, bro, someone has to rethink that.
Look at, Doug, this is our fucking
What are you all, a bunch of criminals or what?
Look, down here it's a ball and chain, Doug, in the middle of our basketball court.
Oh, that's great.
So
yeah, that's not very fucking motivated for the young generation, is it?
Look at, Doug, you see this shit? So
Yuma Criminals.
Right here, there's a high school, Doug. There's our administration building. Or no, Snyder. That's not admin. That's Snyder. Look at, Doug. Look at the wrestling team. Do you see that shit?
Yeah, no, they're doing too much, bro.
Gunning for the title, Doug. Look at the wrestling team.
They're gunning all right, bro. How many of them go to jail?
A lot. You know, it's funny, actually. Speaking of which, my buddy,
Rich or which? You sound like Mike 525 trying to say Rich.
Speaking of which, Davis. No, speaking of which, check this out. My friend, one of my best friends, he's a cop in Tempe, right? Went to the same high school as us. When I met him, he was doing some crazy shit, right? But anyway, he's a cop now in Tempe. And when he was working at a prison in Lewis, somebody that we went to high school was there. I think he was there for murder or something. And this dude was like, hey, he called my friend over and he looked and he was like, did you go to Yuma High? And my friend was he told me who the dude was, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember him. And he was like, yeah. So he asked me if I went to Yuma High. He goes, I looked at him and said no, and kept walking. And I was like, oh yeah. So that dude, I mean, a lot of the criminals become criminals. So that's one thing though. But yeah, Doug.
Well, they're fucking. It's like they're setting them up for that, bro. They're like paving the road. They're calling them criminals before they're really criminals.
And it's funny though, Doug, because I remember actually it was when I was in high school. A couple of the people from school had gone to the Today Show, and they had like taken them merch and shit because we had, Doug, you know the name of our like bookstore, or it wasn't a bookstore, but like our little shop that sold like shirts and shit with like, you know, that said Yuma High and shit.
Yeah,
it was called the Cell Block. So, so, Doug. So it was called the cell block. You would go in there and you would get like merch and shit for school. You know. Uh,
People don't. They don't like that high school very much, do they?
yeah. So fucking we weren't. And then Doug. So get this shit. So our high school is so ghetto though. It's
My
funny.
fucking kid would have been homeschooled, bro. I don't know if I would have put them through that shit.
Hey, Doug. I'm like the fourth fucking generation criminal. Um,
Damn.
so Doug.
Are you smooth?
I remember this shit, Doug. Fuck yeah, you see me dance. So it was fucking funny though because whenever we would have like Spirit Week, right, where it was like, hey, this week we're gonna fucking have Crazy Hat Day and stupid shit.
Everyone
like that.
take their pistols to school or what?
No, what we would do is we would have every school did this about the other schools. During Spirit Week, they would have dress down. Like our biggest rival was Kofa, and they were the Kofa Kings, right? And so it was dress down Kofa Day, right? And they were a bunch of preppy bitches at Kofa. So our cheerleaders and shit would like dress like fucking preppy bitches and like dress them down or whatever, right? Well, at Kofa and Cibola, the other high schools, when they would do dress down Yuma Day, all the chicks would put like a basketball in their shirt and walk around like they were pregnant because like half the girls at our school were pregnant.
Oh shit.
So a lot of shit, a lot of yeah, a lot of shit went down. I remember
like a town I'd fit in well at.
Doug, you want to hear something funny? I remember did she have a sheriff contact me? There was a teacher, fuck, I forget what her name was, but she fucking hated me, right? She fucking hated me because Doug, I would ask her every day if I could go to the restroom, right? And then I would walk because a bunch of my friends were in the classes next to us. So I'd walk down the hall and I'd call all my friends out of class and we would kick it in the hall, right?
Right.
So like I remember my homie Zach, I'd be like, Zach, you know, and then call Ralph, you know, and then we'd all be in the hall just bullshitting until all the teachers were like, this motherfucker's still in the restroom? Like, how long has this motherfucker been in the restroom? And they'd look outside and we were all just bullshitting, right? So this one time, that teacher, she had her fucking windshield broken, right? So she told me that she gave the deputy my fucking name so he could look into me.
Oh shit.
And I was like, bitch, just because I don't fucking like you doesn't mean I'm gonna go and fuck with your shit, you know? But anyway, that's that story.
Fucking criminal, you fucking criminal.
Fucking criminals, Doug. So, but I don't even know how we got off on that shit. But yeah, okay, to answer your question, to leave them out of the Hall of Fame, I think is bullshit, Doug.
It is, right?
Come back full circle, Doug. That's how we do it here, right?
Yeah. If you're gonna leave out the players in that era, then you better take away all the titles from the championship teams.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Hey, right? Exactly.
I mean, the teams and owners shouldn't have trophies if if they can't benefit from that, and no one should benefit from that era.
I agree, 100%. What else? Was there anything else this week that was that stood out to you, or anything that ruffled your feathers?
Well, they were also talking about, since we're on sports, that LA's trying to clean up around the SoFi Stadium for the Super Bowl. They're trying to get rid of all the homelessness. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
You hear about that or what?
Yeah, no, for sure. Also, what do you think on that same note? Did you hear about Kanye West, what he's trying to do to help clean up the area?
He's going to let him model his clothes?
Yeah, he wants to model. Doug, so this is what I'm thinking. So I think there's going to be a lot of overdoses after that fucking shoot. Because, Kanye is going to fucking hook him up with like a fat check, right? For modeling for the day. Maybe hook them up with a shower or some shit. And then, put them in a magazine or some shit, right? Hook them up. Say he hooks them up with fucking
$100.
He won't hook them up with $100, Doug. For shooting it'll be like, say he gives them fucking $5,000, $10,000, whatever. We'll say $5,000. Say he gives them $2,000 for somebody fucking tweaking or fucking, fucking, shooting up that black tar, or one of these, like, dog, they get that much money in their hands, they're gonna fucking kill themselves. So is this Kanye's secret way to fucking clean up the place?
The 10%, he's trying to get he's part of that elite to fucking get rid of the fucking 90% of the bad apples, or what?
No, but one of the things that Covino and Rich were saying is that, dog, they're not really trying to get that shit clean. It's a temporary fix.
It's a Band-Aid.
It's a Band-Aid. It's a Band-Aid. Comes full circle to shows we talked about a long time ago, right?
Yep.
It's a
For
Band-Aid.
sure. It's a
So you're
Band-Aid.
gonna do that shit, clean it up for what? For the next 2-3 weeks until the Super Bowl or whatever, and then let it all go back to shit. Let Skid Row be fucking, the fucking Devil's Culo again, and
And you know how they do it. It's going to be worse than before. It always ends up worse.
yeah, it's just I'm just thinking like I don't know what their thinking is. If what
Well,
was
not only that, if you're embarrassed, so here's the thing. It's I think Covino Rich, they kind of pointed out, like, what do you clean in the last minute when people are coming over? Like what they're
yeah,
doing is embarrassing. Like
exactly.
it has
But
to
you live like a
don't
slob
fake
the rest
it.
of the year is what they said.
Right. Bullshit.
You know, and have you heard the numbers about how much money they give LA to like clean up the homelessness problem or some shit?
Mm-mm.
I believe, dog, it's like $7 million a year or something that they give them to fight like the homelessness or something.
Yeah, it's tough.
Luis just hit me up. He put dog. That's all he put.
Shout out Luis.
Oh, another thing that makes us feel old. That's what. Because earlier we were talking about how fucking old we're getting, right? Um, it's so funny though, dog, because he fucking continued the conversation from like 8 hours ago. That's fucking funny.
Hell yeah.
But no, watch. Look, let me Google this shit real quick. Every time I say Google, it reminds me of my homie fucking my homie Johnny, his cousin Roy. I remember one time we were leaving and we were gonna.
Any relation to Siegfried?
Well, we were gonna we were talking about something, right? And then me and Johnny were leaving, and
Right.
I was telling Roy like, hey, well, I'll hit you up later or whatever, right? But I was like, his shit was, oh yeah, I'll Google you.
But I'll Google you.
I'll Google you, dog. That's gonna stick with me forever, dog. We're leaving.
Adult friend finder.
I never forget, dog. We were at his sister's fucking little ass apartment. We were all chilling, at Roy's sister, so Johnny's cousin, and Roy's right there. He's down from Vegas because he lives in Vegas, and he's like, "Oh yeah, bro, hey."
He is related to Siegfried.
He was funny because him and my brother were friends in school, and he was like, "Oh yeah, hey bro, I'll Google you." I was like, Google me, all right, dog. The fucking laugh. Like, the fuck you Google me. Watch. Money for
Google don't know shit.
homelessness in Los Angeles. Let me see. $11 billion budget. Oh, okay. Look at this. Mayor Eric Garcetti. This is dog. Actually, this is like June 2021, right? Listen to this shit, dog. Garcetti signs 11 billion budget, right? Nearly $1 billion for homelessness crisis. Mayor,
Trouble.
let me see. Signed the $11.2 billion budget for the 2022 fiscal year. I thought it was 7 million. It might even be 7. I don't know, dog. Anyway, it's a shit ton of money, whatever the actual numbers are. This says 11 billion, but that sounds incorrect to me.
Well, how many homeless are there though?
Dedicates $1 billion to fight homelessness. 30. Let me see. Homelessness budget. Approves more than 500 million in spending. Maybe it is a billion, dog. I don't fucking know. Look at 527 million in funding for strategies to battle homelessness. I don't know, dog. But anyway, dog, that's why.
Bro, there's 63,706 homeless people in LA County.
Doug,
that's from 2020.
That's why they're never gonna get rid of the problem.
No.
They have all this fucking money.
Bro, 65. Well, how many people's in Yuma?
I think I were at like 100.
Bro, 2/3 of the population, they got that homeless in LA. Bro.
How many is it in LA?
It says right here. There are currently at least 63,706 people experiencing homelessness in Los Angeles County, according to a count by the LAHSA in 2020.
Okay.
A 13% increase from 2019.
So our 2021 estimate is 218. So it's grown a lot. But that could be also with our winter visitors. We get a lot of old fucks coming from Canada. But But yeah, 218. So yeah, dog, that's crazy.
It's a lot.
That much, dog, of my entire fucking city is homeless
Right.
and fucking.
Bro, that's more than the city of Lompoc.
That's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, but yeah, I think it's ridiculous. Like Covino and Rich said, they're just fucking cleaning up the house before everybody gets there. They're fucking running
That's all they're
around.
doing. And it's fake because it's like putting on makeup, bro. That's all you, that ain't what you look like. That ain't what you look like. You're
What
lying to
does
me
Chris
already,
Rock say?
LA.
Chris Rock says that women hate men lying, but that's all they do. He's like, you ain't that tall. That ain't
Well,
your
Mac Dre,
hair.
remember what Mac Dre said? I
What?
like hoes, pretty toes, don't need makeup or pantyhose.
That's fucking funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doug, but I feel, I mean, you don't want to wake up, not recognizing the person you're laying next to, Um,
Right. Looking like Grace Jones.
who the fuck is Grace Jones?
Some old funky looking lady, bro.
Oh, remember Mike Jones, Doug? Whatever happened to him?
That's my homie's cousin.
Shut the fuck up.
I swear to God, dude.
Uh,
Mike Jones.
yeah,
He's from I forgot.
281-330-8004. Hit Mike Jones up on the low because Mike Jones about to blow.
Yeah, no, that's Columbo's cousin.
Oh, Doug, you know what I did when I was in high school? I was in student council my senior year, right? I remember I made an ID, and I
Okay.
changed my name to Pimp Daniel, and as my ID number, I changed it to 281-330-8004.
Hey, I used to make crazy name tags at Save Mart. I told you I got two Changs.
Two Changs.
Yeah, I had a buddy named Chang and shit. I made him a two
Doug,
Changs fucking
they fucking
name badge.
the next year they changed the people actually doing the IDs from the students to they put it in like the principal's office, like in that building. And if
Right.
I'm not mistaken, one of the security guards had to like take the pictures and shit because Doug, Johnny had a picture. He had one of his student ID with just his nipple. And then I have another one, Doug, where I'm holding like the basket to hold like papers.
Did it have a name like Huskies?
No, no, it didn't. It was just we were just like, oh, fucking, what else could we do,
Yeah.
So it was fucking, and then dog, we were putting the like athletic passes and shit on everybody's ID that we thought were cool and shit, or like like bitches and shit, where you're like, oh, you don't have the athletic pass, you don't you can't get in free to all the games. Well, fucking, here you go.
Shit, I want the off campus pass. Fuck that.
Yeah, Doug, we put all this shit on there. We had all the fucking little passes on our shit because we were the ones making them. So Doug, even like okay, I'd probably get my ass fucking thrown in prison for this one. But we even had because you could go down to Mexico, right? We're like 10 minutes from the border one way and 30 minutes another way, right? Well, everybody would go down to Mexico and party. We're in high school. So we would have people that would come in that, in Mexico you could drink when you're 18, and all they would check at the clubs was your high school ID because it had your date of birth.
Right.
So we would go in there and we would change their date of birth for their ID, print it out, and then we would change it back.
Oh shit.
So if they were like, oh, days away from their birthday, because that's the only time we did it,
Right.
we would just make a little adjustment, and they'd be like, so, yeah. Anyway, they took that privilege away from the kids, afterward.
Fucking suckers.
I don't know how they realized we were fucking doing it. Oh fuck, dog. That's the last high school story, but I have another one, but I'll tell that one on another episode. But yeah, man. Let me see. Cleaning up LA. What did you think about all the morbid talk that Covino and Rich had this week, dog? There was a lot of morbidity, a lot of shit about people dying, a lot of shit about parents, never seeing your parents again, or did you hear any of that shit or no? Because I'm ready.
No, I didn't.
You know me, I never shut the fuck up. I'm ready to tell it. Well,
yeah, go for it.
One of the things they were talking about is that if you there's a number, on the amount of times we're gonna see our parents again before they pass, right? So it's even more different when they live hours and hours away from you, or different cities.
Well, why try to put a number on it? Right there already sounds negative.
It does. And see, the thing is though, they were talking about, somebody brought it up, but they were saying, like, if you say you see your parents twice a year, they said like Covino was saying, because he showed up to surprise his mom. Right. And he was like, I went 2 years without seeing them one time. So he was like,
Right.
it's nice when I can pop in, like this. And
For
so
sure.
they were saying, what if, you only see your parents, twice a year, and say they only live another 20 more years. Every time you see them, it's like a fucking countdown. Like, okay,
You can't look at shit
now
like that though,
39
bro.
times, now 38
It's
times.
hard to find happiness when you view shit like that. Like if that's your thought process, make a difference and just get your fucking ass over there. But to look at it like that, you're taking any happiness out of seeing them, and you're putting a negative fucking shadow on it.
That, Doug, and you know what, though? I'll be honest, like, after my dad passed, I want to say, like, I don't want to say I was making, like, a countdown, but I had, like, a real fucking hard time, like I didn't want to, like, ever fucking be mad at my mom, or I didn't ever want to fucking, like, like, go a day without seeing her or talking to her, or what, and it was
Yeah.
like a good, like, year or so after he passed where I was like, it was really hard for me to, like, make that transition back into, like, all right, she's not gonna fucking die tomorrow, and if she does, what
Right.
the fuck can you do about it? You know what I'm saying?
No, and
So
I didn't really have a great relationship with my mom growing up, but after my pops passed, same thing. I called her every day just to make sure she was
yeah,
cool, just to let her know someone was thinking about her. You know what I mean?
yeah, for sure, for sure.
But no, I never counted though. I never did
Yeah,
anything to
no,
count
and
or
see
nothing like
that,
that.
Doug, that to me is like the most morbid thing you could do is like, because Doug, because if you do it like that, like you just already are thinking so negatively. Like, Doug, like this trip that Covino took this week
Uh-huh.
was, kind of a spur of the moment thing. He said he thought about it. He was like, hey, me and Jordan don't got shit going on. Melody's with her mom. Fucking, I don't got shit going on. As long as I get back before ESPN on Sunday, then it's
Right.
fucking gravy. I got
Fox.
this, right? Yeah, oh, yeah, that's what I meant. Fox. Radio edit. So if I can get back for Fox on Sunday, then cool, and so see, so if you say
5 p.m. Pacific time.
yeah,
Shout out Covino Rich, Fox Sports.
8 a.m. Pacific or 8 a.m. Eastern time, 8 p.m. What the fuck, dog? I can't talk. I can't talk.
This is great. This is
8
great.
p.m. Eastern time, dog. I'm fucking tired.
Da, 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 da,
Hey,
da, da, da.
hey, fuck you. You don't know the kind of week I. Don't know the kind of week I. Don't know the kind of week was so fucking stressful. But anyway, I
Da, da, da,
digest. Um, so like Covino, he popped in this weekend, dog. So if he was one of these people, saying, I have 39 times until I see my mom, or more times, like he doesn't know when he's gonna pop in randomly like that, dog. So for you to be that negative about it and shit,
Mm-hmm.
it's I think it's completely the wrong way to look at shit. So
Right.
like, so what are you supposed to do? Fucking move in with your parents or something? You know what I'm saying?
Right. No.
So,
Just enjoy the time you got. Just make it more of a point to do it more often than not.
and Doug,
And
and
just make
see,
sure you appreciate it when you're there.
and the thing is, where they're saying like, oh, it'll be say 40 more occasions or whatever. But Doug, but just like waking up with them, because say Covino's sitting at their house or something, or just being able to grab a drink with them, and then tomorrow he's gonna be there for a few days, so it's not like these four. Say you do see them for 40 times, right? 40 times the rest of your life is what you're gonna see them. It's not like you're gonna see them for 20 minutes and then fucking leave. Most
Not only
likely
that though, bro.
you're gonna spend.
Not only that, if they're old, one of them could get sick. You could be there for 3 months straight. You can't predict any of that shit.
Mm-hmm,
You don't know any of that, dude. You don't know what curveball life's gonna throw you. You have no fucking idea. They could live to be 103
mm-hmm. Or 104.
or 99. Look at Betty White, bro.
Betty White, days away from being 100, but
Still, she lived to be 99 years old, bro. And if that's the case, I mean, even with my own mom, I got a good solid 20.
mm-hmm,
You know what I mean?
mm-hmm. Yeah, man, and it's just like, I don't know, man. I just feel like there's some. I think a lot.
Just value the time you got. Treat people with respect. When you do share time, make sure it's quality time. You know what I'm saying? Always come from a place of love and compassion and understanding. And you know what? And just do the best you can, man. Don't sit there and put a number on it. Like that's the problem with the way fucking we think right now. Life ain't an algorithm, even if it is. Even if it is, you can't fucking think of it like that. You got to live your life.
I agree 100%, Doug. And because we could think about that, Doug, like with anything, it doesn't have to necessarily be parents or people that live far away from you. If you think
No.
about shit like that, dog, you're gonna consume your life. It's gonna consume your life, and you're gonna be fucking a nutcase. Doug,
Think about if you're breaking up with an ex, you're like, how many more times can I smash?
yeah, you know what? You're like, okay, if I break up with her in 2 years, I have about this many more times, right? Like,
I got 700 more smashes.
you know, so 699. You're like,
But
fuck.
just but the thing is, every time you smash, it should be like it's your last time, bro.
Yeah, I agree, and yeah, I agree. You could tell, Doug, when there's something that crosses my mind where I'm like, oh fuck, I'll talk to El Cucuy about this later. Yeah, I
Yeah.
have some thoughts that are for off the air, but
Yeah. It's for our OnlyFans. It's for our OnlyFans. After show, but only.
oh, that's fucking funny. Yeah, we'll get there. We'll fucking one day, Doug. One day we'll be there.
I got a bone to pick with fucking Apple, bro.
Okay, tell me.
And I got this fucking corny ass fucking iPhone Pro Max 13 bullshit. And I've had Apple since 2011. And I always buy cases. I ain't ever cracked a screen. I ain't ever broke a phone. And this motherfucker, I've already broke the camera 2 times in like fucking 3 months, dude.
For real?
I even got the OtterBox. I got the little plastic fucking cover over the lenses. My shit's done broke twice. And I mean, I got Apple Care, so I'm not really tripping. It's only $100. But still, dude, like, I'm starting to feel that they're out there trying to fucking get numbers. You know what I mean? Because even though I can get my phone replaced, the next one's going to be fucking iPhone 13 Pro Max #3 from me. Are they doing that shit just to sell more phones or what?
Or you know what? Did you have that issue with the 12?
I had that issue with the 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. None of them.
Was the 4 your first iPhone?
Yep.
I think it was mine too. Well, I know for a fact I had one. I don't think I ever had a 3 or a 3S.
Nope.
Do you remember?
I wasn't doing it because it was AT&T. I waited till they came to Verizon.
Do you remember what
I had the BlackBerry I had a BlackBerry before the iPhone.
Do you remember what the S and the 3S stood for?
They suck.
Nah, speed. You could get the
3G. Yeah.
You could get the iPhone 3 or the iPhone 3S for speed because that one was fast as fuck now, right?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, they were shady.
You think about how fucking impatient we are now compared because we're fucking spoiled and shit. Oh, you know what? I actually have something on that same thought. Doug, I'm pretty sure I told the story on here before, but I'll say it again because we have to assume not everybody listens to every show. But Doug, it just reminded me because the other day, one of my part-timers, I had told them Covino and Rich were talking about beepers, and she was like, "What's a beeper?" And then I was like, "Are you fucking serious?"
Oh, I was the king.
And she was like, "Oh no, I think I remember, right?" And I think she was full of shit. But just like maybe like not even 6 months ago, one of my work studies, she's 19. She was asking what dial-up internet was, and I was like, "Damn, must be nice to live in a world where you don't even fucking know what dial-up is, you know?"
Don't take 3 days to download a movie.
Fuck, Doug. I'm like, that shit was just to browse.
It used to take days.
Browse the internet, Doug. And then if somebody called and it fucked up your line, so you had to reconnect. Or, Doug, if you didn't have 2 lines in your house, like I didn't have right at first, and you were tying up the line, so now your mom's saying, "Hey, get off that fucking internet. I need to make a call," right?
Right.
And it was just like, then they get a second line, and you're like, cool, I could tie up one of the lines, and they won't fucking be bitching.
Right. I remember I was all player, bro, when I was 18. I had a 2-way. This is, for all you fuckers that don't know, because we're spoiled with technology, a 2-way. I had mine. It was a 2-way pager, and it was through Sprint. And the old school pagers, you could just type in the numbers or whatnot. But this one, I paid $25 a month.
Had a keyboard.
It had it had an 800 number. And I had an operator, bro. And when you called the 800 number, you would tell the lady or whoever picked up the message, they would type it and it would come through on my fucking pager, bro.
Technology, Doug. I remember
that shit was.
Doug, I remember my brother was so fucking stoked when he went from his little handwritten manual Chictionary, as he called it, to he had a little one that looked like a little flip up calculator. But he could actually type the chick's name in now, and like, Doug, that was like, oh shit, technology.
You know what I had, bro? Is I was 9th grade, and I had this little Casio, and it was almost like a phone number book, and I could store it. So instead of having like a Rolodex or whatnot, I carry this little. It was like a fold-out calculator, same type of shit, and it had a screen. And I was a little hustler, so people would owe me scratch. So I also had a way to put in who owed me what. I had a little tab sheet in that motherfucker. And but I remember it was player because that was when I don't even think I had a pager at that point. Yeah. But I would pull it out. You're macking on the honeys and whatnot. You flip it out. Bloop. Hey, girl, what's your number? You type it in this little fucking shit. You looked all Mac
Doug,
Daddy.
on Monday, I need to ask my work studies if they know what a car phone is.
Oh, my dad had one.
Ah,
281-2021, bro. That was his number. He
oh,
was a Hey, bro, he had a car phone back in like the late 80s when it was fucking Contel Cellular, bro. Before it was GTE, and then it went from Contel to GTE to fucking Verizon, bro.
Doug, just think about how fucking hood. Doug, you know what I want to do? I'm gonna fucking do this, Doug. I'm gonna fucking put a landline fucking, coil fucking cord plug with the
On your
fucking big
shit.
ass handset, Doug. And I'm just gonna hold it like if I'm at a red light and shit. And fucking like they had the car phones back in the day.
Oh, you could buy the bag phone. I think you still buy the bag phone where they plug in, they come in a bag, remember?
No, what do you mean the back phone?
Oh, they get the bag phone where they come in like a little bag and shit, and they plug it through the cigarette lighter, and it's a bag phone, bro.
I don't even remember
My
that.
my pops had a real one, and what's cool about I'm gonna give people some game and shit on the history of the car phone.
Uh-huh.
So my pops had one. It wasn't a mobile one. That motherfucker stayed in his car, right? It
Mhm.
was it. It didn't go nowhere, right?
Well, in the
And like I
beginning,
said,
they had to fucking wire your car like they were putting a new fucking sound
yeah,
system in it.
no, it was hardwired. Yeah, his shit was hardwired. So the cool thing about that was is there's a little ass town on the outskirts of Fresno called Carruthers, and that's where my pops grew up. So he worked there, bro. And so I'm at home smoking weed and shit, trying to get the hot box the house and air it out before my pops gets home. I would call his cell phone and with the car phone. And the cool thing about it is if he didn't answer, I knew I had 45 minutes because he was still at work.
Doug, that's fucking
Right? Because
funny.
if he's in the car, the motherfucker will ring and he'll pick up.
Yeah, that's fucking funny, Doug. Wasn't your dad the one who wrote the original version of that Drake song? You used to call me on my car phone.
Yes, he did.
That's fucking
MC Jack Nasty.
fuck, Doug. That's so crazy. That's fuck. It's nuts, Doug. And now people are asking what's dial-up internet. This
And what's crazy though is I was a little hustler, bro. So I used to always smash his car. So I'd always be calling people on that day. And I was the only one. No one really had shit like that back then. And I was always fucking smashing around using his fucking car phone. That was back when they gave you a minutes. You got, I think he paid like $200 a month for like 600 minutes, and incoming calls were free or some shit like that.
That's fucking crazy, dog. And actually, Covino and
Mhm.
Rich talked about that this week too. They were talking about, do you remember back in the day when you had like free nights and weekend minutes on your cell phone?
Mm-hmm.
Doug, I couldn't wait for that. I mean, I not couldn't wait. I was fucking so fucking stoked when that shit went from 9 p.m. to 7 p.m.
To 7 p.m.
Now it was nights and weekend, and then they started including Fridays.
Or an incoming
And
calls.
you were like,
Remember that Sprint?
oh shit, that shit was like, fuck. And then there were some companies that had those rollover minutes.
Mm-hmm. That was Pac Bell.
Pac Bell. I thought it was like Singular Wireless or some shit.
Singular, yep. Well, they used to be Pac Bell, then they went Singular, and then now they're AT&T. Yeah, that's how you know we're old, bro. I can tell you that fucking Verizon was GTE and Contel before Verizon, and AT&T was Singular and Pac Bell before it was fucking AT&T.
I remember when I was in actually it was every summer from the time I was in 7th grade. Then we would always take a trip up to Flagstaff and stay at the dorms at Northern Arizona University. So NAU, we would stay at the dorms for a week in the summer, 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, like that. Whenever we would go up, my mom fucking, we were getting my shit together, because I was going to go stay for the week. Make sure you have your toothbrush. You got to make sure you have, fucking your snacks. And also, Doug, you had to make sure you had your calling card with you.
Oh, yeah, I remember those.
Remember your fucking calling cards?
Oh, hell yeah, bro.
Oh, shit. And I remember just being like, oh, fuck, having the dorm phone to be like, oh, shit, hold on. I gotta call my mom real quick. I have like 8 minutes left on this calling card.
What about the party line, bro? Remember the party line?
I don't remember the party line.
Bro, there used to be a party line where we had a number and shit, and it was like 10 cents a minute, but everyone would call in, and you could meet people from your area. Like it was like an area shit, and you could get like 15 people on the phone at one time. What about the box? Remember the fucking music video, the fucking box back in the day?
Not the music video, but I remember a gang of
The channel.
Yeah, to get different channels and shit.
The box that rocks. Remember that?
I don't remember the saying and shit because I was young, and I just remember like my family having it and fucking with it, and like I remember because we were able to get like the WWF pay-per-views and shit like for free, and
Oh, the cable box. Yeah, yeah.
You
No, we
know?
used to sell those. Yeah, hell yeah. That was the little black square rectangle ones from fucking yeah, I remember those.
So yeah, no, that shit was it was dope, Doug. I remember my dad had it fucking hooked up because one of the boxes was like a clear ass picture, and there was
Mm-hmm.
another box where you could only get audio. So he would have like fucking two TVs going, and then we'd invite people over to watch like the fucking SummerSlam and shit. It was all
Right.
fucking ghetto rigged, but everybody dug it because it was like, fuck yeah, you got the fight for free, you know?
Hell
This was
yeah.
back in the fucking like '96, you know? So
Yeah, no, the box I'm talking about, it was like a knockoff ghetto ass MTV, and they played all the underground hip hop and shit, all the shit in the area, like from San Francisco and
oh, it
Oakland. They
wasn't like a
played.
physical box though.
No, it was a TV channel. They just called it the box instead of
Oh,
MTV.
okay. I went a little different on you.
But I remember the cable boxes. I had those, the little slim black boxes. They sold the brand was Scientific Atlanta.
I remember, Doug. There was one TV in my family's house when we were little, where it had a little. It wasn't that box, but it was a little
Did it
one.
have rabbit ears?
There was a little box you'd put on top of the fucking TV, and you
Uh-huh.
would move it. It had like 39 channels or some shit.
Oh
And
shit.
so it would say like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and there was a dot between every number. And so it was like
Uh-huh.
2, the dot was 3. Then it would say 4, the dot was 5. So if you wanted to watch a channel, you could only go up to like, 27 or whatever, however many little ticks it had on that shit. So I don't know.
Right.
That was being ghetto
I
in the
rem-
90s, Doug. So
I remember when fucking cordless phones became the shit, bro. Remember that? Where you ain't got to stretch the fucking 40-foot cord to your fucking
oh,
bedroom.
cordless, not even cell phones, cordless.
Yeah, remember the cordless phones?
Oh
There's a
yeah,
big ass phone with a
the
fucking
Zach Morris
antenna
phone.
that everyone would break.
Doug,
Huh?
they look like the fucking Zach Morris phone, but they were in your
Yeah.
house. They were fucking big.
Yeah.
They were.
Yeah, they were.
Oh, I no, there's a picture I'm thinking of my brother, but I think he was on like a landline, like a corded phone. But no, I remember we got those, dog. It was the shit. And then I remember, dog, we had one that was like, it was like probably as big as like my daughter's crayon box, right?
Right.
But it was wireless, right? And then it had a clip, so you could put it on your waist, because it also came with a little plug where you could plug in a headset. But
Yeah.
dog, the headset looked like you were fucking Janet Jackson and shit, you know?
At the Super Bowl?
Yeah, but that was like you would fucking be chilling like this, like
Oh, she had a nipple pop out. I remember
yeah.
that.
So 2003, never forget it.
I wonder if Mary J. Blige is gonna have a nipple pop out this year, bro.
I don't know. It depends if her dress goes up a little bit. She getting old.
Free the nips. Free the nips.
If her dress goes up a little bit and right there by her knee, we'll be able to see it.
Damn, that was not right, bro. She ain't that old.
She ain't that old. Okay, cool. I haven't seen her.
Mary
Does
J.
she still look good or what?
I don't know. I've been telling you to watch Power for 2 years, bro. She's all on Power. She's a shot caller.
Oh,
Yeah, she's a boss on Power.
Doug, you want to know how fucking how my attention span is? You think I'm gonna get through fucking Power, Doug? Fucking like 13 seasons and that shit, and then spinoffs. The show Yellow Jackets. Have you seen it?
Nope.
Show is like fucking like maybe 10 to 11 episodes, right?
Right.
I'm on like episode like 4, dog, and I fell off of it. I need to watch the rest of them. And I dig the show, but there's just something about me, dog, where I'm fucking, when it comes to like TV and shit, if I don't, like, I'll have my little routine, like Yellow Jackets. I was watching it every night before I'd crash. And then one night I didn't do that, so then I just fell off of it,
BMF, that's the one, bro.
Beyond Meth.
Yeah, Beyond Meth. No, BMF.
Oh fuck, Doug. Well, you know what? I don't have a whole lot, and we're going a little later than we usually go. So, what are you thinking, Doug? Do you have a couple more things, or what's up?
No, I'm good, man. It was a good week. Just still catching up on some show. Gonna tune in tomorrow for the free Twitch. But yeah, they've been killing it. I'm glad Covino went to see his mom. That's awesome. Hope he's just enjoying time with her, and they're spending getting some good moments together, man. Shout out whole Covino family. Shout out Stickman. Shout out Columbo. Shout out Funky Monkey. Everybody else that
All the
supports us.
fucking Carls, the homie.
Not all the Carls, bro. Especially not that one you were talking about earlier. Don't shout out that
All
dude.
right, I'm not gonna shout out Austin Powers. So, but fucking, I do want
Yeah,
to. I want
baby.
to say what's up to a couple of people. Fucking, the homie Lou Dog. Fucking, I told you hit me up earlier again.
Shout out Luis.
Fucking, Funky Monkey, and then Covino Rich Spot. They're fucking
Mike Durbin.
the homies. Mike Durband. You're saying it incorrectly. Yeah, man. All the fucking homies.
What's up, Mike?
The normal fucking listeners. My homie
Baseline Trey.
Chris. Let me see. My homie fucking Green Optimus, a homie that has sent me some shit a couple days ago. I haven't looked at it, but
Hey, Tim and AZ, shout us out and tell us if you got your cell service fixed yet.
I think I mentioned this like last show, but I'm gonna mention it again. Do you remember, Doug, when he called in and they're like, "Let's go to Tim and AZ," or no, "Let's go to Tim." They didn't. That's all they said.
And he couldn't
And
hear
it was
him.
like cutting off or some shit. They're like, we'll come back to him. And I was just like, oh, fuck, Tim.
Fuck, we've been waiting for him to call back for 9 months.
Dog, he drives a fucking truck for a living. Why don't he get a car phone installed in it?
Bro, get a Verizon. Yeah, get a fucking bag phone, Tim.
Oh, fuck, Doug. But yeah, shout out to everybody listening. Shout out to fucking, shout out to my girl. Yesterday was our anniversary. So shout out, Bree.
yeah.
What's up?
Yeah. Congratulations, bro.
Thank you, Doug. We're fucking.
How many years strong are you guys?
Like 6. How old's Kennedy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Doug, but we get married in November, so that we got a few months. Right now, my father-in-law's in town, so shout out to Pop. He's fucking redoing Kennedy's room for her, so she's fucking stoked.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, man, but fucking just shout out to everybody. Appreciate everybody listening. All the people showing love to the page, we dig it. All the listeners, we see you guys out there, so everybody continue to share it with your friends. Let them know about us. Let them know about Covino and Rich. Let them know that Covino and Rich got their free Twitch Fridays. So, yeah, man. Just
Fox Sports Sundays.
Fox Sports Sundays. Fox Sports. Not any other network.
Fox Sports.
Yeah, man. So I'll see you, El Cucuy, in the next episode. All you guys listening, we appreciate it. And you guys have a good rest of your weekend. And don't forget to tune in to Covino and Rich on Monday. Peace.
Yeah, next one I'll be in the Lompoc.
Oh, yeah, huh? All right, let's go.
Yep.
On the road to the riches, cause it's all about the paper. Now buckle up your seats and prepare for the journey. Let the music ease your soul, grab a spliff and start burning. Relax with us and take a trip to the heavens. And come and spend a day in the 757.
All right, man.